one thing I realize, man, is how few other people have your best interest at heart. What's the old saying, right? Only you have 100% of your DNA. And if I had one wish, man, it would be I just wish that everybody and anybody can realize that other people just don't have your best interest at heart. And it's human nature, right? And sometimes, unfortunately, that means your own mom, your own dad, siblings, kids, if you have any. Humans are just selfish by nature, and what that means is that sometime in your life, there's gonna come a point where you have to stand up for what you believe in. Because whether it's your friend, your mom, coworker, boss, they have an image of you that is comfortable for them, right? So if you're your mom, right? Let's just keep this simple, right? Your mom cares for you, wants the best for you, but at the end of the day, she wants the best for you and her imagination and her experiences of what she thinks is the best for you, right? So maybe you want to be an entrepreneur, and she has had time in her life where she tried to do entrepreneurial things and didn't work out. Well, in her mind, she might think, okay, well, this is risky. This is uh, not a good path to go on, so she'll stop you. And I think that's the worst thing, you know, any parent can do is try to shape their kid based off their experiences without realizing that everybody has different talents, different unique strengths and abilities, right? So, you might be better suited to be an entrepreneur than your father or your mother. So for them to stop you based off their experiences and their skill set is just it's irresponsible, right? How many friends do you have, or maybe you yourself was in college, but you wanted to study this major, but your parents said, there's not enough jobs in this industry. You have to study this, and you fucking hate it, right? How many times have we heard that? Coworkers who, I mean, I heard once that people regret three things, right? Majority of people regret these three things. One is their education, right? Where they went to school, majors that they studied. Two was their marriage. Three was what they decided to do for their career. So a lot of people just don't like their jobs, and how many people have had coworkers that just drive you crazy, and they tell you to do things because it's better for them. If you go do that, or hey, you shouldn't do that. Meanwhile, it's right, but they don't want you to do it for whatever reason. It might be because they don't want to make themselves look wrong, right? So they don't tell you to do something that you think is right because they suggested something else, and if you succeed, it'll prove them wrong. So I guess what I'm trying to say in this little mini rant is, man, there's gonna come a time in your life where you just have to stand up and say, hey, this is what I'm gonna do, right? And I'll give a little short example. I live in West Hollywood. I have a roommate. Love my roommate. He's great. He cooks. I work a lot, so he cooks a little extra, lets me have it. He cleans around the house. We kind of stay out of each other's way. But like again, this is a minor incident, but it kind of triggered this rant on something a little bit bigger. Was I made coffee this morning, and our coffee pot you could keep the top on, and then the coffee will still run through the pot with the top on. But for me, when I do that, the coffee is too hot, right? Because it's all concealed in the coffee pot. So when I pour it in my cup, it's just so hot. So today I was like, I'm just gonna keep the top off the coffee pot. So when the coffee is done, it could just start cooling off because I usually don't have coffee, 5-10 minutes after it's done pouring. So, and within those 5 to 10 minutes, it could cool off without the top. And he comes in the kitchen. He says, "Hey, you have to have the top on the coffee." And I'm like, "Why?" He said, that's just how it is. You put the top on the coffee and then you put it in." And I was like, "No, I don't want my coffee like that. The coffee's been hot, and I want to keep the top off so it can cool down. By the time I'm done eating my breakfast, I can have a cooler coffee. I don't want my coffee so hot." And it kind of just made me uh, think, how many times in your life have people just said, hey, this is how you have to do it, but they can't give you a reason why. It's just they created this own rule in their head that, hey, this is just how it has to be done. Um, so the next time you're in that situation, and don't get me wrong, sometimes, if you, sometimes people are more experienced, and sometimes people do give you better advice. But never follow anybody's advice blindly. You always double check, right? What's the old saying that Sam Walton says? Over the shoulder, right? Trust but verify. So comment below. Let me know the last time somebody said, hey, John, Jill, this is how it has to be done. I want you to do this, and this is how it has to be done, and it's not going to be done any other way. And you knew of a better way or a better, different way about going about things. Man, don't let that be you. You will have so many regrets in your life when you're 60, 70, 80 of things you wish you would have done or times you wish you would have said no. So, when the time comes and you have to step up and you have to say, hey, no, I'm going to do it this way, make sure you take advantage of those opportunities, man, because you always regret the times that you don't say no. You rarely regret the times you said, hey, I'm doing it this way. Even if you're wrong, you still have pride and you still build up courage to go about things your way. And sometimes failure is the best teacher, right? So you failed, right? What was that Thomas Edison say? Right? I learned a way not to do something. Don't be so paralyzed by failure that you just follow any and everybody's advice. Sometimes stick up for what you believe in and see what happens. So leave a comment below. I would love to hear some of your stories where, parent, coworker, boss just said, hey, this is why the way I want you to do things. And you knew there was a better way. I would love to hear, and I'll talk to you next time.